introduce yourself.
I am Jackson, as you know.
And I'd like to take this away so we're focused on our interview, Mr. Cabot. How did you hear about my work?
Oh, that's, my mom told me.
Really? Are you a fan of my work?
I'm your son.
Alrighty, that's good enough for me. We'll begin the interview, sir.
What materials and tools do you use?
Why don't you ask him what it is he does first with his hands?
Oh, yeah.
Let's start at the top of the list with the question number 1, sir.
What is it you make with your hands? Describe it briefly.
I make Polaroid emulsion transfers. The process is I take a picture using Polaroid film, and then I take the emulsion off of the Polaroid and transfer it to watercolor paper and manipulate it and create a new image.
How do you make this?
Well, when I start with my original Polaroid,
It says what materials did you use and which steps. Please describe.
could you read the question again, sir?
The question is, what do you do to make it? What materials do you use? And what are the steps? Please describe.
Well, the materials I use are 8 by 10 inch, 8-inch by 10-inch Polaroid film, and distilled water, hot, and Fabriano Uno 365-pound watercolor paper, soft press. And what's the next question? Please describe what?
It wanted you to describe the steps, which you did. Okay, number 3. How did you?
I haven't described the steps yet. Should I describe the steps?
Okay.
Okay. I take a picture, and then using the Polaroid, once the Polaroid film dries down, then I soak it in very, very hot water, about 165 degrees Fahrenheit, you know. And after a few minutes, the emulsion, that's spelled E-M-U-L-S-I-O-N. Is it a fascinating story I'm telling here?
Yeah.
The emulsion lifts off of the Polaroid backing, and then I transfer that emulsion to a watercolor paper, waiting in a tray next to it, soaking wet, and then I manipulate it by moving the water around and moving the emulsion around, and then I take it out and I let it dry for 3 days. I better answer that. It might be the door. Hold on. Alrighty, now.
How did you come to this with your hands?
Would you please read that one more time really
How
clearly?
did you come to do this with your hands?
Well,
How did you get interested in making this?
well, let's start with one question at a time.
No, this is just things.
I see the sub-questions. How did you come to do this with your hands? Well, I don't think there's any other way I can do it because it requires your hands to remove the emulsion and manipulate the emulsion on the Polaroid.
How did you get interested in making this?
Oh, that's a very good question. I was invited by the Museum of Natural History in Chicago to participate in an event where we would decorate a mask any way that we wanted to. Teddy, I'm so sorry. I got stopped on the way back to do this interview. And Mom said I had to sit down and do the interview.
You want to help and help me tape it, Ted?
He wanted me to come and watch him dance, and here's your water. It's the clear one, not the brown one.
You lied.
No, I didn't lie. I am coming back. I would
Mommy?
never lie to you. Mom stopped me when I was coming back. Will you tell him that? Will you tell him?
Take the brown water.
He's gonna be done in 3
Mom's
minutes.
going to read to you in a second, or I'll read to you in a second.
3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes.
Okay.
Hey, Mom, didn't you read to
At
him?
any rate, when I was invited by the Museum of Natural History in Chicago to participate in the event, they sent me a mask made out of plaster.
Hang on 1 second.
Anyway, I was given a plaster cast of a face, and I could decorate it any way I wanted. And I thought, well, some people might be painting them or gluing things on them. I decided I wanted to do emulsion transfers. So I took a picture of a person and I transferred the emulsion onto the plaster and made a face.
What is your history with it?
Well, I've been doing it now for a couple of years, and I've been sending a lot of my work overseas.
Did you
to
record me
Polaroid
with
International.
Did you?
And I've been making large prints for our Skylight Gallery. And
No, you said get this.
I've been making prints for the studio and for people to collect.
How did you learn it?
I learned the technique by reading about it in a book originally, and then I developed my own characteristics and special techniques.
Why did you do it? Why did you do it?
It doesn't say did.
Why did you do it?
I find it very relaxing, and I really enjoy the results. They come out so warped and twisted, just like your dad. Because each Polaroid emulsion transfer is very unique, and they're one of a kind, and I really enjoy the final product.
And I believe Daddy does it too, from what he said. Teddy, Dad cannot come near here. Because he really wanted to do art.
Can you turn it off?
And also, because I'm an artist, I really wanted to get very artistic with my photography and try something different
Teddy?
and artistic.
Have any particular challenges and sophistications?
Read it again.
Sus-
Sound it out.
sus-
What does that say? What is that? What is the first letter? What does that spell? Challenges and satisfactions you want to talk about. Yes, it's very interesting that you should ask that question.
we're going
Jackson.
potty.
No, turn the camera off. Sorry about the interruption, folks. Yes, I had some challenges, many challenges, learning the different techniques that I use to create the emulsion lifts is what they're called, because we're lifting the emulsion. The satisfactions have been numerous. There's been articles written about my work. Polaroid is considering some for their permanent collection, and people collect them because they like them, and I've had lots of nice comments. And I'm doing a really great job right now using my technique for a furniture store.
Do you have any plans or thoughts for the future in relation to this making process?
Yes, I do, Jackson. I have lots of ideas. I want to take new photographs and create big and wild and exciting, colorful portraits and images for the future. I want them to be all over Skylight Gallery and be wildly successful worldwide with my imagery. And maybe get some of my work into museums someday while I'm still alive to go look at them.
Do you have any other questions you can think of?
Well, let's